most popular questions I get from my clients is, how do I determine who is speaking to me with my higher self and my inner children and my spirit guides? I think that it is just me sometimes making it up because it sounds like my own voice in my head, which I totally understand. Even to this day, with doing all of the work that I do, I still only hear everything in one voice. Some people hear multiple voices. I hear one through my own. So what I started doing was asking questions out loud to my higher self or my spirit team or my inner children and waiting for the internal response. That is a great way to differentiate between who is them and who is you. Now, if you are a type of person that only hears in one voice, we want to be asking our higher self, inner children, and guides to speak to us in different tones and different accents, different personalities, different type of languaging than we would normally use, different types of words or inflections. Ask your inner children to speak to you on their appropriate age level. If it's a 5-year-old, like a 5-year-old, or a 9-year-old, or a 12-year-old, how they would, as if they were children outside of you. Same thing with your spirit guides. I need y'all to talk to me in a different way. With my higher self, what I asked her to do was speak to me kind of on a lofty level of how you would expect a guru to speak to somebody, or a like a Tibetan monk, just kind of more in that riddle-esque type of terminology, speaking on a higher vibration and a higher frequency than I normally would, so that I know for a fact that that is her. On the opposite spectrum of this, sometimes I'll meet with people and they say, I have so many different voices speaking to me and there's so much input that I'm having a difficult time deciphering what it is that I need to learn or integrate. When I first started channeling, I had a lot of different beings that were coming through, and I said, okay, I'm getting very overwhelmed and overstimulated. I said, I need y'all to talk to me in one voice through my higher self. That's it, period. Whoever is the most important, that is going, not the most important, but whoever is going to be the most beneficial for me right now, I want you to talk to me through my higher self so that I can better filter this information. And so that was really beneficial as well. So it depends on where you're at on your journey. If you got too much information coming in, just ask for the one voice. If you are trying to differentiate on purpose, that's where we can start asking, can you do different personalities, different tones, different inflections? Remember to ask your questions out loud. When I was giving a client session the other day, we were going in to connect with one of her different incarnations. When I am doing timeline healing with people, we're not looking at memories. We are actually going back in time and space, sometimes going back, sometimes going in the future. Sometimes it's a concurrently running timeline. And we are talking to them like we are all having a real-time conversation with one another, whether it's with their inner children or spirit guides, different incarnations of that nature. When we went in there, I said, I'm going to ask you questions to ask them, and you're going to say them out loud and wait for the internal response, and then you're going to tell me what they said. And don't worry, because I can hear them too, but I want you to open up your own channels via doing this. She never really had any type of connections with her different incarnations. She was a little worried about if she was going to be able to hear anything. Oh my gosh, she did amazing. She could hear everything that this different incarnation was saying to her. It really wowed her, and I was so excited. When we did the healing for that timeline to release her of some fears that were happening in this incarnation, but were coming from a different incarnation, she's like, oh my God, I felt that trauma energy come out of my body. I felt it come out of my body, and I felt it come out of her body. And I said, yeah, you did it. So excited for you. One of the key pieces to that, I was 222 on my phone. One of the key pieces of that was speaking those questions out loud and then waiting in here to either feel something or see something or hear something that helps you differentiate between them and you. So highly recommend. It worked for her, and she had no prior experience before that. So I would love to hear in the comments if this unlocked and activated something for you, and I hope you have a super magical day.